Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's hump day, August the 6th, and a lot to talk about on the fishing front today. And towards the end of the report today, we'll talk to you a little bit with an update from Ocean City at the White Marlin Open, one of the biggest billfish tournaments in the world. So let's talk about what's happening closer to home when I come back in just a second.
Hey y'all, Captain Marty here, and when I was looking for a top quality mower, I went to the best, and the best is A&W Sales in Pinetown. Now at A&W Sales, they carry top quality brands like the Bad Boy zero-turn mowers, of which I own one now for 15 years. American-made, heavy-duty machines built to handle anything from backyard touch-ups to commercial jobs. They've proudly sold and serviced Bad Boy mowers for over 15 years. How about if you're in need of a trailer? A&W Sales carries the full line of Big Tex trailers, the best-selling trailer brand in the entire nation. Visit them in-store or online at awsalesnc.com, where tough equipment meets trusted service.
Let's be real. No one wants to deal with nasty varmints like mice, roaches, creepy crawlies, and critters. Leave that work to the experts at Outer Banks Pest Control. Outer Banks Pest Control is the best on the beach when it comes to eradicating those unwanted creatures. They've been in business for over 25 years with well over 100 years of combined exterminating experience. Specializing in both commercial and residential properties, Outer Banks Pest Control has all the tools and equipment necessary to take on any pesky job. They pride themselves on top quality customer service and workmanship. Hey, if it ain't red and yellow, it's just some coattail riding fella. Outer Banks Pest Control, the best on the beach with a proven track record of excellence since the year 2000 and online at outerbanks-pestcontrol.com.
So down in Hatteras, nice catches of mahi or dolphin down that way. Several of the boats having limits, which is something around 60, which is pretty good. These are mostly the bailers, 3 to 5 or 6 pounds, really delectable eating, crowd pleasing when you can get a lot of bites in a hurry. And a school of them will come up to your boat when you find them around a bed of grass or around an old log floating or a loading mat. And they'll stay around your boat, and a good captain and mate working as a team with some good coaching can catch 60 dolphin in 10 minutes. And really makes everybody happy. Great fish to eat, beautiful, they jump. Kind of neat. There was a few blackfin tuna and a few wahoo and a few sailfish caught down there as far as billfish. And their inshore fleet had some blues and Spanish mackerel. I'm not hearing a whole lot about bottom fishing, king mackerels, amberjacks, things like that. It might be that I'm just missing it on the reports. The Oregon Inlet fleet had a pretty good billfish bite yesterday. I talked to Captain Dickie Harris. He runs the Fantastic out of the Oregon Inlet Fishing Center. And his day yesterday, he had a limit of dolphin or mahi. He had 4 yellowfin tunas averaging 50 pounds apiece, and he lost a sailfish. And there were numerous billfish caught in the fleet. I saw where Barry Sawyer on the first crack had 4 white marlin. That's a good sign. So, we have our tournament coming up at Pirates Cove, kicking off Sunday with the Alice Kelly Ladies Only Billfish Release Tournament. So we're glad to see a few white marlin showing up to go with the sailfish and the blue marlin that we've been catching. Inshore, the Oregon Inlet fleets are catching near about everything. They're hitting some of these schools of big drum. They've been catching ribbonfish. Every day they're catching Spanish mackerel and bluefish, and they're doing a little bit of bottom fishing too for things like sea bass and amberjack. And that will take us in on offshore fishing. So now let's talk about the pier and the surf. And the thing to remember here is that the drum bite is pretty darn good. I was talking to my friend Tom Wagner last night. He's an avid drum fisherman, and he shared with me anytime the wind comes around the northeast, the ocean gets rough, the water gets stirred up a little bit, the drum love it. And we are seeing good drum fishing in several parts of our fishing report. We'll get to part 2 in the backcountry report after our break. But it's a pretty good bite of drum on most of the piers. And they are in a variety of size ranges. Tom did tell me if you took 50 drum that were caught off of piers like Jeanette, Snags Head Pier, Avalon Pier, Outer Banks Pier, if you took 50, he said about 8 to 10 of them would be the real big ones, the big bulls, 45 inches and up. But there's a whole bunch of them that are over the slot, or what we would call yearlings. That seems to be what is mostly being made up, and there are some in the slot where you can actually keep one. So the drum bite is good, though, and it's good all up and down the beach. They're still catching a few in the surf down on Hatteras. And other than that, when the drum bite slows down, there's still bluefish and Spanish mackerel. And that's really the 3 things I have in today's report. And as I mentioned, There is good drum fishing in the surf of all different size ranges. And down in Avon, they continue to have a little bit more variety down that way in the surf with sea mullet, croaker, blues, and pompano. And I do appreciate Tony Lombardi on the walkingangler.com. That's his website. And he feeds me information almost every day about what's happening in places you do not need a boat to go fishing. So check that out, walkingangler.com. All right, we'll take a little break, and I'll come back and talk to you a little bit about the drum bite in the Sound, which is also very, very good. And then we'll talk about the White Marlin Open up in Ocean City, Maryland.
Ahoy there, folks. Captain Edward Lee here, and I want to invite you aboard the Miss Oregon Inlet 2. She's a modern 60-foot head boat outfitted with the latest top-quality safety and fishing equipment. We make 3 trips per day out of the world-famous Oregon Inlet Fishing Center. Visit MissOregonInlet.com or call us today at 252-251-4314. So ditch the beach for a bit and set sail with the Miss Oregon Inlet 2.
All right, so we have a good drum bite going on in the Sound as well. It doesn't seem to matter whether it's daytime or nighttime. And we have some of both going on. And there seems to be the average is running bigger in the Sound, although they also are catching them in all size ranges. Now, if that's above your pay grade and you're not sure how to go about doing that, book a boat. There are plenty of guides that offer that service for you. You can do, and you can shorten your learning curve. Just make sure they're a legitimate guide, properly licensed and insured. And that's a good way to learn how to do that drum fishing. But there's also speckled trout still biting. And now, the Hatteras side of the Sound, my guides over there, I say my guides, my friends that are guides out of Teachers Lair Marina and Hatteras Harbor are both seeing some good speckled trout bites. Some of that on live bait, but some of that on popping plugs. But that's been pretty good. And the speckled trout bite is pretty good for our wading crew on the western Pamlico too. On the backside of Rodanthe and the Tri-Villages, there's some good spots there where you can get back on the Sound side and do a light cast and retrieve and catch speckled trout. So we got all that going on. And meanwhile, we do have the Ocean City tournament going on, one of the richest billfish tournaments, but it's more than billfish. It's actually called the White Marlin Open, and the one that will have their name on the trophy will be the one that catches the biggest white marlin. But there are other huge prizes, well over it says as of today, $7.3 million to be whacked up. And we mentioned yesterday our local boy, Hunter Blunt, Bill Blunt, and the crew of Barbara B. Caught that 929-pound blue marlin after an epic battle. That fish, if it holds up, and it'll be a tough one to beat, is worth $4,480,748.50. We don't want to forget that 50 cents. But we had another one of our local boats get into some money. Ron Whitaker on the release. Really great guy, very popular captain, always competitive. He, I think, is in 4th place on the yellowfin tuna, and it was a 50-some pound tuna. That, 4th place now for a tuna, is worth $50,535. And you think, wow, I want to sign up and fish that tournament, and I want to win money. Well, keep in mind, it costs pretty close to $40,000 just to enter all the categories in the tournament. That's not counting the cost of your charter, if you're booking a boat, your fuel, your crew, your lodging, your food, your Calcuttas. It blows my mind. And they got 282 boats doing that. This coming week, later in this week, on Sunday, we'll have the Alice Kelly Ladies Only Billfish Tournament at Pirates Cove. This year, as it stands right now, it could be 1 out of 2 days, Sunday and Monday. And then, on the same location at Pirates Cove Marina, we'll kick off with our Pirates Cove Billfish Tournament. And that'll be Tuesday through Friday. They will pick 3 out of 4 days to fish. And we'll be over there all week long. We'll be doing podcasts in the evening right outside the door of the pavilion, me and Justin Bateman. And then me and Moose Smith will be doing FM radio reports, live reports like we've done for years as well. And I do hope that you'll come out and say hello on the docks at Pirates Cove. That's my complete fishing report for today. And I hope the good Lord blesses your day.